All right, ladies and gentlemen, how are we doing? I hope everything's going well. We should be good to go live. So, can you guys give me a thumbs up and make sure that everybody can hear me loud and clear? I think we are good to go. All right. Can you guys hear me okay? Let's just check this real quick. So, what we're going to be doing today is something, yeah, thumbs up. Thanks, Eric. Appreciate you. All righty. All right. So, what we're going to be doing today is tomorrow is Veterans Day, and we apologize for the shadows, the way that we're sitting. This is kind of impromptu. We don't have my normal setup done. But today is Veterans Day, excuse me. And so what we wanted to do is we wanted to do something. What's up, Papa York? Papa York is a channel member. Thank you so much. Little Pat, what's going on? Hope you're doing well. Thanks for coming in. I appreciate you being here. So you can see that ByFrost has already started to kind of do an outlay of the drawing that she's going to be doing for today. So she's going to be doing some shading and stuff. Today is going to be a Veterans Day theme. But what we're going to talk about in the line of coins is we're going to talk about the history and challenge coin. What is a challenge coin? What do they look like? What are they supposed to be? What's the history of them? Where do they stem from? So we're going to be talking a little bit about this. And while I talk about this, she is going to be drawing a Veterans Memorial image. Many of you have seen this image before. So you're going to go ahead and see this. If you need me to shift the camera at all, let me know. I'm going to be utilizing her chat to type and say hi in. So if you have anything to say, let me know. But I'm going to be coming across as ByFrost. Jack Gallman is in the house. Jack Gallman, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. Let's see. We have Eric Bayer is in the house. Thank you so much, Eric, for being here. I appreciate you. Siren is in the house. Siren, thank you for being a wonderful mod. I definitely appreciate you. All right. So the challenge coin. So over the years, there's been a ton of military traditions, and they are designed for a bunch of different reasons. And we ask ourselves, why do we do certain things? Well, the challenge coin is one of those things that carry a lot of personal significance to those who have served in the military. Now, there are a lot of you who haven't served within the service that have received challenge coins, either as thank yous or as mementos or tokens of appreciation. And so I'm going to talk a little bit about what a challenge coin is, what the organization is. You have to excuse me with the dog. Unfortunately, it's just going to be one of those things that we have to deal with today. All right. So again, we talk about military traditions. We talk about some of the things that happen, but a challenge coin is basically something that represents an organization, some sort of special entity or item within that organization, and they are meant to invoke some sort of personal reflection within that service or that loyalty, or to, for instance, I was in the United States Navy, so a U.S. Navy coin or something of that nature. Now, challenge coins are traditional medallions. So they're considered medallions, not coins, because again, the definition of a coin is that it's backed by a government, has a denomination on the front of it. These are medallions. These are medals. And so they're given out to service members by a variety of different people. They could be section leads. They could be, what's going on, Paula Bloom? Good morning. Hope everybody's doing well. Thanks for coming in, Paula. Paula is also Tuli with the $5 super chat. Thank you so much, Tuli. I appreciate you jumping in, showing the channel some love. Thank you so very much. I do appreciate it. Papa York said, my niece is a major in the Army. God bless our soldiers. Absolutely. Amen. Miss Coin Crew is in the house. Hey, Miss Coin Crew, that was a great example of me needing to finish doing my emojis. So I got to get those done. Thank you for the reminder. I need to work on that this weekend. So thank you for being here. And again, Paula, thank you for being a channel member. Miss Coin Crew, thank you for being a channel member. I appreciate you. Against an Army is here. Underserved government holiday. Yeah, and again, there's a difference between Veterans Day and Memorial Day. So Veterans Day is to celebrate those who have served. Now, Memorial Day is different. Memorial Day is designed to make sure that we celebrate those who paid the ultimate sacrifice, those who died in the line of service. And Memorial Day has expanded over the years to cover more than just military members. We cover first responders and things of that nature as well on Memorial Day. So the definition of Memorial Day has grown. What's going on, Nina? How are you doing? So there is a difference between Veterans Day and Memorial Day. So today we're talking about Veterans Day. Now, the drawing that ByFrost is doing right now tells more to Memorial Day. However, it's important to note that when we talk about veterans and when we talk about the sacrifice, the families, the spouses, the significant others, the children, the parents, there's a ton of people who pay an additional cost that a lot of people don't think about. Now, what does that have to do anything with challenge coins? Well, a lot of the spouses, the children, the parents receive these from people like commanders, from section leads, and even from the service member themselves. So it's really important to understand the criticality of a challenge coin and how important it is to military men and women when doing when understanding what a challenge coin is. Now, when we talk about most of the time they're coming from military commanders, but there's a different reason why you would get them. So normally they are received for doing some sort of a significant event, whether it be voluntary, whether it be excellent service, whether it be an award of some type. And I apologize for the dogs barking. We got somebody here doing yard work and the dogs will not shut up. So do you want to go take care of them real quick, or you think they'll be okay? Okay. So she's going to pause on this and I'm going to go ahead and talk. She's going to go deal with the dogs real quick. But again, it's important to understand kind of the purpose and the tenets for doing this. Now, there's a big origin of challenge coins. And does anybody in chat know where the first challenge coin was spotted? Does anybody know where that very first challenge coin came from? So let me know if anybody gets that right. Again, I would prefer if you didn't Google it, right? Take a guess, right? Don't go to Google, just take a guess. Where do you think the first challenge coin came from? Think about all the military organizations across the globe. Think about all the battles, all the recognition. Where do you think it came from? Something to do with World War I. Actually, Eric, it was way ahead of that. So that's something that came way before. I'll give you a clue. I pledge allegiance. Allegiance. There's a key word there. Okay. We'll talk about this. I'm going to wrap this up with kind of a definition of the Pledge of Allegiance as well. I'm going to go that to the end. I don't see any guesses, so I'm just going to go ahead and drop it. All right. So they came back in ancient Rome. So the first challenge coin, they said, came from ancient Rome. And what would happen is soldiers would present in battle certain skills. And then they would be awarded a special medallion for their expertise and for their service and their allegiance to Rome. Okay, so these were given for their dedication to their unit, to their battalion, to their squad, to their whatever. And the purpose behind this is, as you see in many military traditions, it was a sign of honor and pride. Now, that still carries on today. It's still very important to understand that when you receive a challenge coin, there's a lot of pride that is filled in somebody's heart or in somebody's psyche when they receive a challenge coin. Now, a challenge coin also have, depends on which story you believe. Yeah, there's a lot of different ones. Um, there, you can go back as far as Troy and Sparta and stuff like that. However, from the information that I've done, I'm going to go ahead and stick with Rome. Okay, because they were the first ones that actually genuinely recognized it as a medallion. And in fact, their challenge coins would actually be worn much like our medals would be, like the Purple Heart and things like that, which were actually on a banner, and they would be worn proudly on their uniform in times of ceremony. Jack Allman, thanks for your parents' service. I appreciate that. And again, for those of us who came ahead and paved the way for people like me to serve, I appreciate all those who came before Vietnam, Korea, World War II, World War I, things of that nature that actually paved the way for us. Revolutionary War, Civil War. I mean, there's so many that actually sacrificed for our nation. But again, I don't want to be talking just solely about the United States military. There's a lot of Canadians that are here. There's a lot of people who are in the Royal Air Force or the Royal Navy or things of that nature. So I appreciate everybody's sacrifice and dedication to their nation. When talking about challenge coins, so let's go back to the First World War. When you look at battles between America and Germany, and you look at things like Ivy League lieutenants, they were given coins to hand out to pilots. So when you're talking about the Air Corps, this was before the Air Force was involved. It was back when it was the Army Air Corps. They would give out pilots who were shot down and captured by the German Army. They would find out that French patrols leaving along German grounds would hand out these coins later on. And one crew member in this item recognized an American challenge coin and was able to help that member break free of a German captivity. So the challenge coin in World War I actually was utilized to identify American pilots and help them in the French underground, trying to rescue them from people like that. Graduated from West Point in 1913. Outstanding. That is really cool. Very cool, SkyQuest. Thanks, SkyQuest, for coming in. I appreciate you being here and for all the support you provide to the channel. That's outstanding. ByFrost waves and says, howdy. Now, let's go ahead and talk about the actual challenge. So when we talk about the challenge coin, where did the challenge come from? And as many people know, when you see the challenge, there's a couple different ways that they talk about this. One of the primary challenge items with the challenge coin happens in a bar. And this is where people would be sitting around a bar, and they'd be sitting on a countertop, and somebody in that time would place a pfennig on the countertop, and somebody wouldn't have one, then they would have to buy the drinks for all the others. Coin check, that's exactly right. So different services call them different things. In this particular case, it originated, from what I understand, in World War II in Germany, and it was called the pfennig check. Now we call it the challenge, or we call it the coin check. And that would happen. So it's another one of those things where in camaraderie, right? There's a lot of camaraderie around the challenge coin. It's just another entity to kind of slam their challenge coin on the bar, and people are fumbling and grumbling to find that challenge coin, and people laugh. And it's just a good way to build that thing that we call esprit de corps. Now, esprit de corps doesn't have to happen within a specific unit. It can happen across the board, right? You can do it with military members in the Navy, the Air Force, the Marines, Coast Guard. It can be the Army. It can be all of them, right? You can all be sitting around, sitting at a bar, having a drink, and then somebody smashes their challenge coin down. That means everybody, right? This is something that is there for everyone. Eric said, we did a coin check when I worked at Ford. You had to have your $50 at you at all times, or you owed around. And so again, yeah, there's multiple reasons. It doesn't have to be specifically with the quote unquote challenge coin, but again, the challenge coin. So it stemmed, and again, the whole purpose for that was to stem camaraderie. So when you're looking at this, it's important that people had a challenge coin with them. Now, it doesn't matter what challenge coin you have. It can be one that you have from your unit. It could be one that you have from your service. And it could be one that you received in a joint operation or effort. It doesn't matter the challenge coin as long as you have one to present. Now, one of the things that I really like the best about the challenge coin is how you receive them. So in chat, I would like you to tell me who in chat knows how you properly receive a challenge coin. Somebody put that in there. I know my service members are going to know this. How do you receive, what's the proper way to receive a challenge coin? I got a little bit of a delay here. It is a gift, but there's a way to receive it. Okay, so what I mean is, let's say that you're being presented a challenge coin. Okay, now you get that coin a very specific way. And the way that you do that is through a handshake. So the handshake is the way that you transfer coins. Okay, and the one great example that I would, yeah, a handshake, exactly, Charles. So, and there's might be a little bit of a delay in my chat. Exactly, Roxilla, yeah. And so if there's a little bit delay, if you guys are putting that stuff in there and I'm not seeing it, then bear with me. You can see quite the detail if you're looking at ByFrost drawing. It's absolutely amazing. And this is going to go to somebody. 'Tis a secret. Now, there is a secret to that, but there's I mean, the handshake is not a common, but there is something about the handshake that is, it's something that is not necessarily secretive because they make a big deal of it in many cases, but you can be presented a challenge coin and not see it change hands. And the reason being is that is something designed or specifically entitled to the person who's receiving the coin. It's not for everybody else. Now, in recent times, I'm going to give you an example. When Secretary of Defense, Mr. Robert Gates, visited military bases throughout Afghanistan, he would shake hands with certain people, and when he would shake their hand, they got this secret gesture of honor, right? And so a lot of people didn't know what was going on. But what would happen is that, hey, Papa Giorgio, what's going on? Thanks for coming into the stream. I appreciate you seeing your name here. But what would happen is when they grabbed their hand, all of a sudden they would feel this challenge coin. And they would take it, they would put it in their hand, and they would salute if it was a military member. In this case, being the Secretary of Defense, you would salute. And thank you very much. And it was just something that was between you and them. And there's a very specific set of pride variables that go into receiving a challenge coin. Not everybody gets one. In fact, my entire time in the Navy, I never got a challenge coin. I didn't get my first challenge coin in the Navy or from the Navy until I started working for the Air Force in the medical service. And I had a captain who I helped out to do some programming and software development with. And as I was leaving, he shook my hand and deposited probably one of my favorite coins, which was his specific command coin. And it was a very special thing because it was the first time I had ever been presented with a naval coin. Now, I have a number of them from the Air Force. I have one from the Army. Haven't received a challenge coin from anybody in the Marines yet. But again, it's one of those things where when you receive one, it's a really cool, really, really fun item to have. And it does mean something. Now, once the handshake is over, again, Paula says, I got several for being the first to salute my newly commissioned officers. Now, that is really cool. And again, it's a sign of respect, right? There's a number of reasons. There's no one specific reason why you would receive a challenge coin. But a challenge coin is something that, again, is between two people. Now, a commander may choose to issue a challenge coin for an award in place of a letter of commendation or a letter of achievement or something like that. If just a quick something for a job well done. Let's say, for instance, you were a duty driver and you were designated driving for people, and you got 2 or 3 people home from the bar. You didn't drink. You brought them home back to base. Your commander found out about that. They could give you a challenge coin. You saw somebody who was disabled crossing the street, and you stopped traffic so you could help them cross the street. Or, you just walked around base one day and picked up trash, and somebody happened to see you and pull you aside, and they throw a challenge coin in your hand. So there's no one specific item that would warrant a challenge coin being provided to an individual. There's a whole bunch, there's a plethora of reasons why one would be developed and provided to you. But one of the reasons that you would receive a challenge coin is as a token of appreciation in the event of loss. Now, for the spouses and for the children, there's another tradition that happens that is very solemn. It is very sacred. And that is, once we have a member fallen upon their funeral and they're laying to rest, the United States flag is ceremoniously done through, William E., don't interrupt at all. Please come in, say hi. Let's make yourself be known. Throw stuff in chat. Go ahead and talk amongst yourselves. I can watch chat and I can talk about this particular item because, one, I've been around it for so many years. But number two, I want the military men and women who served, I don't care what service you served with, to announce themselves. I want yourselves to be known. If you're a caregiver of a vet, I want yourself to be known. If you were, you're a son or daughter of a vet, make yourself be known. If you're a grandson, granddaughter, ByFrost is raising her hand. If you're a granddaughter, grandson to a vet, make yourself be known, because today is honoring those who have served. So don't interrupt. Please throw that in there. Let me know that you've been of service. Let me know that you've been there. But the passing of a flag, now what happens is that the flag is unfurled. It is very ceremoniously draped back together, taut. A very specific fold occurs. It is done in solemn, with absolute dignity, utter respect. The flag is folded and presented either to the spouse or one of the children, a mother, a father, grandfather, whomever that presiding person is that they've been requested of. Normally, if there's not a spouse, it's going to go to the child or the parent. But that flag is presented. Now, with that may be a unit challenge coin, and that is provided by either the person presiding or the commander of the unit, or you may get a number of them deposited into the flag by various people in that unit. Doesn't happen all the time, but when it does, it's a very special moment. Now, the flag usually will end up getting put inside of a shadow box or something, not only to take, but to preserve the flag, keep it clean, keep it nice, and then they present that flag and they put that together. That is by far one of the most sacred ceremonies in all of the military, and it honors the person who gave all. Uh, as military men and women, doesn't matter what nation you serve, there is a sacrifice that is done. I want to choke myself up. There is a pride. Sorry. There is a pride to knowing that you put your life aside, that you put your desires aside, that your mom, your dad, your brother, your sister, your aunts, your uncles, your spouse put aside the things that they want to do to serve their nation, to provide liberty, freedom. I take great pride in my service. I take great pride in my nation. But I see this image and it breaks my heart because I've had friends and family members who have passed in defense of our nation, who paid the ultimate sacrifice so that I could enjoy the simple liberties, like having a YouTube channel, being a dad, living in a world not free of corruption, but much less than other nations, not living under the boot of tyranny. And yeah, I don't care what your political background is. Leadership come and go. But the fundamental tenet of our nation is founded on something that is something you can't put a cost to, you can't put a price to. To the men and women who served, I salute you. But not only do I salute you, I appreciate and admire you. To the men and women who are serving right now, I give you my utmost respect. I ask you today to do me one favor. I don't care if you only do it today. Do me one favor. Don't chastise our leadership. Pray for them. Pray for our nation. Pray that we will understand what value liberty is. Pray that we will understand the sacrifices that are made. Think about those things that are greater than ourselves. Take a moment to put your ideas, your bias, your lack of respect for whomever it might be, put it aside. Find a way to locate a vet, shake their hand, give them a hug, and say thank you. I am a patriot. I'm not a zealot, but I'm a patriot. I love our nation. Breaks my heart to see some of the things we're going through as a nation. I ask you today, just today, take time, honor a vet. Honor somebody who's actively serving in our military. If you have a friend, a family member, a son or daughter, a grandchild, call them and say thank you. A lot of people gave up a lot so that freedom can be had. And granted, some of the freedoms are trying to be controlled and taken away, and we got to fight for our liberties. We got to fight for our rights. Again, we protect against enemies, foreign and domestic. Fight for our nation. Fight for the integrity of freedom. Patelvet high. And if you know somebody that has lost somebody in the service of our nation, if you're from Canada, if you're from Europe, doesn't matter where you're from. I want to take my hat off and thank you for the ultimate sacrifice. For those of you who are caregivers to vets, it is a thankless and a difficult job to take care of somebody who has a very difficult time. I thank you for your taking care of those vets. And I know this is about veterans, but our first responders, our men and women who serve military, medical, fire, police, you serve our nation in a really good way. Thank you. So I want to leave you with one thing. And it's something that I haven't heard. You used to hear it in schools all the time. It was part of a normal routine when I was going to school. I don't think I've heard it for years. And that's the Pledge of Allegiance. So as I finish, I want to do this. So I'm going to turn this that way so you can see it a little bit better. Actually, you know what? We'll turn the phone. Here we go. Here, let's do this. I'll let you do that. You can hold it over. Do it however you need to. It's going to be a little bit of delay. I pledge allegiance. What does that mean? I dedicate myself. I take pride, a vocalization of dedication to the flag, the ideology, the represented image of our nation, the red, white, and blue, the stars and stripes, of the United States of America, united, one, unyielding, unwavering, a single entity, united as one solitary nation. And to the republic, republic, folks, not democracy. We are a republic for which it stands, the icon that is our nation. Indivisible, unyielding, undying. Okay, let's see.
Liberty. Liberty.
Hold on. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God. I missed something. One nation under God. Now, here's the thing. I don't care if you believe in God or not. If you don't, then you don't. Your religious belief are your own. But as for me, it's one nation under God. And if you don't want to say the under God, then that's fine. But historically, our nation was founded on it. Now, you can argue that fact. You can say, no, that's not right. And you can even remove it from the Pledge of Allegiance if you want to. But as for me and mine, we will say it. Now we go to indivisible, unyielding, united. With liberty and justice. Liberty is something that you're allowed, you're free to do. Liberty is something that is afforded to people. Justice is making sure that you're protected and you're honored and you're safeguarded from that. Justice is an important part of the liberties in which we receive here in the US and abroad. And for all, it's for everybody, not just for a few. We're a melting pot. Everybody deserves the right to freedom and to justice. They go hand in hand. You take away my freedom, I'm going to fight for it. And you better not try to pull your own justice. It better sound true. It better ring true. So without the definition, I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands. One nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for coming today. I'm going to do something. I'm going to give you guys 1 minute. I want you to enter into chat. Now, I don't believe I can enter in my winner command because I'm not on my machine. I am logged into ByFrost's. But please enter into chat so that I can get a list of the participants. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a drawing of the people that were in the stream, the people that were commented, and they're going to get this drawing. So I don't know how many people are here. I don't know how many people are watching, but make yourself known. All right, ladies and gents, happy Veterans Day. And again, to all those who've served, to all those currently serving, I thank you. God bless. And have an absolutely wonderful day. Y'all take care.